In a small village nestled at the foot of a vast mountain range, there lived a young man named Karan. He was known for his curious nature and a deep desire to explore the unknown. The villagers often spoke of the mountain, calling it the Mountain of Echoes. Legends told that anyone who climbed to the top could hear the echoes of their true destiny, whispers from the past, present, and future. Karan had always been fascinated by the mountain. Since childhood, he listened intently to the stories of those who had attempted to scale its peaks. Some said they heard the voices of their ancestors guiding them, while others claimed to have heard their own voices, telling them to overcome their fears and challenges. Despite the many warnings from his elders about the dangers of the journey, Karan's curiosity grew with each passing day. One morning, as the first rays of sunlight touched the village, Karan decided he would climb the Mountain of Echoes. He packed some food, took a sturdy walking stick, and set off on his journey. As he ventured deeper into the forest that surrounded the mountain, Karan faced many obstacles. The path was steep and winding, covered with rocks and thick trees. The wind howled through the branches, and strange sounds echoed through the woods. But Karan pressed on, his determination unshaken. After several days of trekking, he finally reached the base of the mountain. The towering peaks loomed above him, their snow-covered tops sparkling in the sunlight. The climb was going to be difficult, but Karan was ready. He took a deep breath, gathered his courage, and began his ascent. The climb was harder than he had imagined. The higher he climbed, the thinner the air became, making each breath feel heavier. His legs grew tired, and his hands scraped against the rough rocks. But each time he felt like giving up, he thought of the stories he had heard as a child, stories of people who had found clarity, peace, and understanding at the summit. On the third day of his climb, Karan reached a narrow ledge. He paused to catch his breath and looked out over the vast landscape below. The village seemed so far away now, and for the first time, he realized how small he was in the grand scheme of things. The mountain seemed endless, a giant that would never yield to anyone. Just as he was about to continue, Karan heard a voice. It was faint at first, like a whisper carried by the wind. He turned to look, but saw no one. The voice came again, this time louder, as if it was speaking directly to him. "Why do you climb, Karan?" the voice asked. Karan froze. His heart pounded in his chest. "I climb to find my destiny," he replied. "You think the mountain will reveal your destiny?" the voice questioned. "What if your destiny lies not at the top, but within yourself?" Karan was taken aback. He had never considered this. He had always believed that the mountain held the answers, that it would somehow show him the path he was meant to follow. But now, with the voice echoing in his mind, he wondered if the journey itself was more important than the destination. Shaken, Karan continued his climb. With every step, the voice seemed to follow him, challenging his thoughts and beliefs. The higher he climbed, the more questions he had. But he pushed them aside, focusing on the summit that was drawing closer. On the final day of his climb, Karan reached the top. The view was breathtaking. He could see the entire valley below, the village where he had grown up, and the mountains stretching out in every direction. For a moment, Karan stood in silence, overwhelmed by the beauty and vastness of the world around him. Then, the voice spoke again, clear and strong, "You have reached the top, Karan. But the question remains, what will you do with what you have found?" Karan closed his eyes and thought deeply. He realized that the journey had not been about finding a specific destiny, but about discovering who he truly was. The climb had taught him patience, resilience, and the power of self-reflection. It had shown him that the answers he sought were not hidden in some distant place, but within his own heart. As Karan stood there on the mountain peak, he understood the true meaning of the echoes. The mountain had not revealed his future, but it had revealed the strength and wisdom that already existed within him. The echoes were not voices from the past or future, they were reflections of his own thoughts, fears, and dreams. Karan smiled to himself, feeling a sense of peace he had never known before. He knew that the journey had changed him forever, and he was ready to return to his village, not with answers from the mountain, but with a deeper understanding of himself. When he descended the mountain and returned to the villagers greeted him with curiosity. "What did you hear at the top?" they asked. Karan smiled gently. "I heard the echoes of my own heart," he said. "And I realized that the journey was not to find my destiny, but to become the person I was always meant to be."